The first thing you feel is the cold. Not the harsh cold of metal or concrete, but the gentle chill of early morning air brushing against your skin. Your eyes open slowly. There is no alarm, no glowing screen, no buzzing phone demanding your attention. Only the quiet gray light of dawn slipping softly into the shelter where you slept. Above you hangs a rough ceiling of stone. Around you, people are beginning to move. Someone nearby stretches and exhales. A baby lets out a short cry, then grows quiet again. Outside, birds greet the morning. For hundreds of thousands of years, this was how humans woke up. This was morning. Now imagine the world outside your shelter. It is around 40,000 years ago. You are a human, exactly like the humans alive today. Your brain is the same size. Your hands move the same way. You feel the same emotions: joy, fear, love, curiosity. If you were born in our time, no one could tell the difference. But your world is completely different. There are no cities, no roads stretching across continents, no electricity humming through walls, no calendars, no deadlines. And yet, life is far from empty. The group you live with is small, perhaps 20 people, maybe 30 at most. You all know each other deeply. Every voice, every habit, every laugh. These people are not just neighbors. They are your entire world. You sit up slowly. Nearby, a few glowing embers remain from the fire that burned through the night. Someone leans forward and gently feeds it dry twigs. A faint crackle rises into the quiet air. Fire is more than warmth. Fire is safety. Fire means cooked food, protection from predators, light in the darkness. Without it, the night belongs to something else. But with it, humans hold a small piece of the world under their control. Outside the shelter, the sky slowly brightens. Morning is not rushed. No one checks a watch. Time here moves with the sun. Some members of the group begin to talk quietly. Others stretch their arms, rubbing sleep from their eyes. A child runs toward the entrance of the shelter and peeks outside. There is excitement in the new day. But here is something surprising. Despite the harsh environment, life is not constant panic. Modern people often imagine prehistoric humans as desperate creatures, always starving, always running from monsters, always one mistake away from death. But the evidence left behind in the ground tells a different story, a much calmer one. For hunter-gatherers, survival did not mean endless work. In fact, many anthropologists now believe early humans worked far less than modern people do today. A few hours of hunting, a few hours of gathering, and the rest of the day, something else entirely. Talking, laughing, teaching children, resting, living.
But before any of that happens, the group must prepare for the day. The air outside smells of wet soil and grass. A few adults step out into the open landscape. The world is quiet except for distant animal calls. The land stretches wide. Forests, rivers, grasslands. This land provides everything: food, water, materials for tools, plants that heal wounds. Your ancestors know this land intimately. They know where berries grow during certain seasons. They know which trees attract animals. They know the hidden paths where herds pass through. This knowledge is not written in books. It lives inside their minds, passed down through stories, through observation, through years of experience. Today, some members of the group will hunt. Not everyone goes. Hunting requires skill, patience, and cooperation. A few of the strongest and most experienced individuals gather together. They inspect their tools: stone-tipped spears, sharp flakes of flint used as knives. Simple, yet incredibly effective. Every tool has been carefully shaped by human hands. Creating these tools is an art. Stone is struck carefully, again and again, until razor-sharp edges appear. The knowledge required to do this has been passed down for thousands of generations. Nearby, others prepare to gather food. Gathering is just as important as hunting. Often it provides the majority of daily calories. Roots hidden beneath soil, nuts protected by thick shells, sweet fruits growing on distant shrubs. The group spreads out slowly across the landscape, but they do not wander blindly. They move with purpose. Every plant, every animal track, every distant sound carries meaning. A broken twig might reveal where deer passed during the night. Fresh footprints in mud might show the direction of a herd. Nothing escapes notice. For hunter-gatherers, the world is alive with information. Hours pass slowly under the rising sun. Some gatherers kneel beside patches of edible plants. They dig carefully with wooden sticks, pulling nutritious roots from the ground. Others climb low branches to collect fruit. Children follow closely, watching everything, learning. Education in this world does not happen in classrooms. It happens everywhere. Every moment becomes a lesson. Which berries are safe to eat? Which mushrooms must never be touched? How can you tell if rain is coming by reading the clouds? These skills mean survival. Meanwhile, the hunting group moves quietly through tall grass. Every step is cautious. Their eyes scan the distance. Then suddenly, movement. A small herd of animals grazes near a cluster of trees. The hunters lower their bodies. No one speaks. A silent signal passes between them. They spread slowly, surrounding the animals from different directions. Then the moment arrives. A spear flies through the air. Another follows. The herd explodes into motion. Dust rises. Hooves thunder. But one animal stumbles. Within moments, the hunt is over. It is never easy, and it is never taken lightly. Early humans understood something deeply. Life survives by taking life, but respect remains. The animal will feed the group. Nothing will be wasted. Hours later, the hunters return. The camp becomes lively again. Children run toward them with excitement. Food means celebration. Meat is shared among everyone. No one hoards it. Sharing is essential. In small groups like this, cooperation is survival. A selfish person would quickly find themselves alone, and alone in this world, survival becomes almost impossible. As the sun climbs higher, cooking begins. Pieces of meat roast slowly over the fire. The smell spreads through the air. But food is only part of life here. Something else fills the long afternoon hours. Conversation. Humans are storytellers by nature. People gather around, speaking about the hunt, laughing about small mistakes, teasing one another. Stories pass from one person to another. Stories of ancestors. Stories of animals that behave strangely. Stories about the stars. These stories carry knowledge, history, identity. Without writing, stories are memory. They keep the past alive. Nearby, someone begins shaping a stone tool. Tiny flakes snap away with precise strikes. Another person braids plant fibers into cord. Children imitate these tasks with clumsy hands, learning slowly. And sometimes, something magical happens. Someone picks up a piece of charcoal. They walk toward the wall of a nearby cave. With careful strokes, shapes begin to appear. Lines become animals. Bison, horses, deer. The images move around stone as if alive. Why did humans create these paintings? Was it storytelling? Spiritual ritual? A way to pass knowledge to future generations? No one knows for certain, but the beauty is undeniable. These paintings show that early humans were not simply surviving. They were expressing themselves. They had imagination, creativity, emotion. As afternoon fades, the light grows softer. The group slowly gathers again. The landscape turns golden under the setting sun. Soon darkness will return, and with it the ancient fear of night. But tonight, like countless nights before, humans have fire. Flames rise once more as dry wood is stacked together. Shadows dance across the cave walls. Dinner is shared. Voices fill the darkness. Some people sit quietly, staring into the flames. Others speak in low voices. A mother holds her child close. An elder begins telling a story. His voice moves slowly, rising and falling with the rhythm of memory. Everyone listens, because elders carry something precious. Experience. They remember seasons long past. Droughts, migrations, dangers that younger members have never seen. Their knowledge guides the group. And here is another powerful truth revealed by archaeology. Early humans cared for their elderly, even those who could no longer hunt, even those with injuries or disabilities. Skeletons have been discovered showing individuals who lived many years despite serious injuries. Broken bones healed, diseases survived. That could only happen if others helped them, if the group fed them, protected them, cared for them. Compassion existed even in the deepest past. And when death finally arrived, it was not ignored. Many ancient burial sites show something remarkable. Bodies placed carefully in the earth, sometimes surrounded by tools, sometimes decorated with red pigments, sometimes laid to rest with flowers. These were not random acts. They were ceremonies, signs that early humans believed death mattered. Perhaps they believed in spirits, perhaps in an afterlife. We cannot know for certain. But one thing is clear. They felt loss. They honored the dead. Night deepens. The stars slowly appear overhead. Without cities, without artificial light, the night sky becomes overwhelming. Thousands of stars burn across the darkness.
Patterns appear. Constellations. Humans have always searched the sky for meaning. Children lie on their backs, staring upward in wonder. Someone points toward a bright star. Another story begins. Fire crackles softly. Eventually, conversations fade. One by one, people lie down to sleep. The fire burns low. Outside, distant animals call across the night. But inside the shelter, warmth remains. Safety remains. And tomorrow, when the gray light of dawn returns, the rhythm of life will begin again. Hunting, gathering, laughing, teaching, creating, loving. A life far older than cities, older than civilization itself. And perhaps, in some quiet way, a life that still lives inside us today.